put my serum on. I've been forgetting to put this on. I'm the worst with skincare. The worst. I want to know, people on the replay. No one's on right now. So, people on the replay. This is my Squalane by Biossance. Have you ever done microneedling or the laser? And which do you prefer? I don't know. I've never thought about doing that stuff, but now that things are happening on my face more and more from years of being stupid and being in the sun, and tanning, like fake tanning in a tanning bed, like how dumb was that? But from years of that, well, and age, right? We're aging too. I'm going to be 43 on Friday, the 21st. Is it Friday? I don't even know what day my birthday is this year. That's how I've been a little disconnected from my birthday. I feel like 43 is hitting more than 40. My 40th birthday, besides being like in the pandemic, it was literally 2020. That kind of sucked, but I didn't feel bad about turning 40 at all. I was like, yeah, 40, woo! I was feeling good, except for the pandemic. But it had only been a month since it started. I didn't realize it would go on so long and it'd be so crazy. So I was like, oh, it'll be over soon, whatever. I'll have to postpone my big party, but that's okay. And now 43 is hitting definitely harder. All right, I'm going to try this new foundation. I hope it's not too light. SAIE. It is in the color, I don't know. It doesn't say a color. That's weird. It says Glowy Super Skin Foundation. I like to glow. I have a foundation I like. This is the Dermatology one that has the SPF and stuff, but it's very sheer. Good morning, good morning. SAIE, let's see. And I got a new brush from the same brand because it's, buy the right brush for the foundation. It might make a world of difference. I like that it's glass and it has a pump. Oh, it looks very liquidy, very runny. So we'll see how well it does. Gotta look down here in my mirror. Oh, it's too light. Oh man, it's too light. That's too bad. But we can see if we like the formula. So, what's up, y'all? What's up? I'm starting to do, if you didn't notice, I did a little video, like a 5-minute video on YouTube yesterday. I put on all my socials. Let's see, we're going to do a half and half to see the coverage. I mean, it's decent coverage and it's very thin, but it is too light. Dang. Oh. It's also like sticking. I don't know if you can see. It's like sticking to dry patches that I didn't even know I had. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe this is a bust, but we'll put it on for today since I already did half my face and I have an appointment at 9, like a Zoom call. So I did a video on, yeah, this is definitely no. Maybe it's because I forgot my moisturizer. I just put the thing on. Dang. All right, we might have to try it tomorrow. On gaslighting and what to do with gaslighting. Like if someone's gaslighting you. Because I'm in a situation right now where I feel like, I don't know if this person is intentionally doing it. So I don't want to like go all crazy. And I feel like I'm not upset at them or whatever. It's just the behavior is kind of a trigger for me because of my narcissistic abuse, where people deflect and don't answer the questions. Like a direct question that you ask multiple times, they somehow don't answer it over and over and over. And so with that, my tactic is, well, get stuff in writing is my big thing, if you can. I know some of you co-parent with narcissists. Don't do calls. Everything on text or email, and keep the text if you have it. I think email's better. It was a good video. Oh, good. Yeah, thank you, Marie. I know it was quick, but I was like, it's a good reminder that like getting everything in writing. I come from a family of lawyers, so it's very natural for me. But I realize, like, not everybody does. I mean, I've been like that, and even in my work life, I would get everything. And I'm sure it's a pain in the butt for people. Like this person, you know, I've been asked to have meetings with people, and I'll be like, no, I'd like to have this discussion on email. It was to the point, yeah, which is, you know, that's how I like to get when I'm teaching. Even on my podcasts, generally they're shorter than some people's, because when I'm teaching something that I know people have gone through abuse, they've gone through hell, they're overwhelmed, they don't need an hour-long beating around the bush on what to do. I get, like, you should have that connection and the relatability, and that's what sucks people in. I don't know. For me, I want my personality to come through as it can, but it's not about me. It's not all about my story. I get it's good to have relatability, so I'll touch on it. But some people will go into their long stories about themselves, and that's fine. That's their style, and some people love that. For me, and what I actually love and listen to myself, is I like to know this person knows what I've gone through if I'm listening to something. But I don't want to hear every detail of, like, oh, and the whoa, and the dramatics of everything. Like, I either want it funny. If you're going to tell a long story, make it funny. Or, you know, touch on your stuff of what you've gone through, and then give me, like, what I need to help myself get through it, right? And so that's my whole point of the podcast, is to teach. I'm going to use this actually today, my Maybelline Instant Age Run, to, you know, teach things like those tips or whatever. Like, I don't, like, that's the point, right? So I don't want to, like, drone on and on like I do in these morning videos. Very different vibe, right? I might get passionate, I might talk about that stuff, but I'm, like, fine with just shooting the shit, talking about whatever. And this is great because people, if they want to get to know me on a different way than my podcast, they can watch these little morning makeup videos, and it's just like us hanging out, you know? I've learned to pick up the signs and back off. Like what I shared with you yesterday, I made it clear. And that's the thing, when you're straightforward, it's a lot harder for them to deflect or to try to gaslight you, make you feel like you're crazy or change your mind, right? One of my family members, I won't say who for privacy, one of my family members, like, not in my immediate family, they don't have a great relationship with one of their parents. And they asked me, well, what can I to them? I don't want them coming to this event that I'm having. They're insisting, they're saying, like, they're turning everything on me, trying to convince me. And I said, you just repeat, it's my choice, it's my event, and I'd prefer you not there. And just, like, you have to have a canned, repetitive answer. That doesn't have to be exactly it, but that was what they were comfortable saying. So they, you know, that was it. It's just like, you know, it's my event. I understand that you think it'd be fine. In my experience, I'm not comfortable. It's my event. You're not welcome, whatever it is. But you just stick to it. You keep the repetition, and over time, and trust me, this is tried and true. I have done this with I've had a couple of narcissists in my life, but one of the main ones, so persistent on breaking me down. Do you know what I mean? If you've gone through narcissistic abuse, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So persistent on, they have to win. They have to have the power. So, of course, they're going to keep going and going and going. And if you put a block up and they cannot even penetrate, they can't even penetrate that wall, they want it to be easy. Like, they want it to. I'm not saying that they give up easily, because a lot of them don't. But they would like it to be easy. If it's that hard, you make it that hard for them. That's the thing. They can make it easy on targets like myself before this whole thing. They have to have the last word always. Absolutely, Marie. So, in my experience, let's say before and after Christy. Christy 1.0 and 2.0. I'm 2.0. Hello. Christy 1.0 was empathetic, and I'm very emotional. I'm still that person. The difference is now I see through people's BS and if they're sincere or not. It's like I've gotten to such a place that I'm able to see who's being genuine, who's not, and if they're pulling at my heartstrings for their own benefit. Because another thing they will do to try to make it easy on themselves, to make it an easy catch, yep, we're doing that, we're reeling back. To make it an easy catch is they will break you down by getting into your emotions. How do they do that? One of my narcissists would send, oh, remember this was our song, or oh, like a funny meme, because I love funny stuff, right? So it's like, oh, get me with the humor, or get me with the heartstrings. Pictures of us from the past. Yeah, they butter you up, absolutely. Oh my God, my face is dry. I'm going to put a little, I'm going to mix some moisturizer with this stuff. My face has been so dry, and that was so dumb that I did not, it should, oh gosh, it's probably going to end up looking like poo-poo. And I'm going to have to wash my face later. But yeah, they know how to, I call them the crevices. Get into the crevices of your heart. They will learn you, right? So when you are first, let's say you're in a new relationship, they do that to catch you off guard. Absolutely. The thing is, what they do in the beginning of a relationship is they learn you as they are on their best behavior, as they are, you know, romantic relationship is a great example of like the first 6 months to a year, like, oh, wine and dine you and make you feel really special. And then once they've learned how to get in, like what things make you tick, then that's when they start the abuse. They slowly start to isolate you from people. They bring you in, they suck you in, and they take what they have learned about you against you. And that's another thing, something very important with any narcissist in your life. Do not let them in. Do not expose your emotions. Do not tell them things that you might want to just share because XYZ, because they're the only one who can relate because you grew up together, right? Or, oh, well, you both parented your kid together, and even though they're a jackass, like, they're the only one that gets it because they're the other parent. No, they will use it against you. They will always use anything they can against you. So it's so important to not let them in. Keep it basic. Keep it, actually, don't even keep it surfing. Like I said yesterday, keep it to the facts. What are the facts? What is your goal with them? Because your goal with a narcissist should only be necessary action. Like if you are co-parenting, you need to know what time they are going to deliver your child back to you on Sunday, right? From their lovely weekend. Okay. Not like, hey, how's it going? Oh, how was it? No. Yes, you can ask how your child is if you reach out. I don't know if, you know, depending on your situation, if you talk during the weekend, you just want to make sure your kid's okay, fine. Keep it surface. And then when they're like, oh, because they'll do those things where they'll be like, oh, well, we watched this movie. Remember when you and I watched this movie back in 82? Remember, right? And you're like, oh, yeah, that was fun. And it feels good. And you feel like, oh, there were good parts of our relationship. Guess what? If you're with a narcissist, there may be good memories, but they are not good. And they will take that and they will pull you in. And the farther down they pull you in. I said this to one of my clients this week because she kind of got pulled back a little in, and I actually was praying and randomly got like a message for her while I was praying, not about her, which happens sometimes. And I felt God say, that's why I don't know how to describe it. You know, if you're a God person, when you pray, sometimes you'll feel a voice, hear a voice. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But imprinted on my little soul was, you need to tell this client that the further you get pulled in, the harder it is to get out. So you think, oh, just a little conversation and a little reminiscing. It's just no, because they will take that little tippy toe you put in the mud and they will, actually, I'm doing it slow. They can bring you in real quick. And next thing you know, it's a month later, you're like, how did I get back here? How am I back, like, conversing with this person, texting this person, getting sucked into their drama? How did this happen? Like, it can happen like that, and that's part of gaslighting, right? It will sideswipe you, knock you down. Well, no, it doesn't knock you down. They pull you down, right? Or as a lot of people talk about, the narcissistic web, they pull you into their web, and it is so hard to get out. So my big advice is try not to even put your tippy toe in there. And I know it's hard. I've been through it myself. I get it. But sometimes it takes us like 5 times of tippy toeing and getting completely sucked back into the web or in the mud to say, oh, let me really learn my lesson now. And I've finally learned my lesson in the last couple of years, where there's no even tip of the toenail going in there, because I thought at a point a few years ago, well, maybe if I just have a little tippy in there, like, that's okay. We could have a very distant relationship. That does not work for a narcissist who wants all the power. It's never going to work. It's never going to be good enough. Never. That's what you have to remember. I'm very passionate about this, obviously. All right, and my face, okay. I don't know what I'm going to have to wash this off. So I'm just going to put mascara on because I'm going to wash my face before my appointment, because it looks, I don't think you guys can see from that far, but it's like, look, what? It's not good things. So there's my passion about gaslighting and getting sucked back in. But I'm telling you, with these people, and you may not know if they're a narcissist. Honestly, it doesn't matter. If there's someone in your life that makes you have to walk on eggshells, that's, like, for me, the best way to put abuse into words, because abuse can be so subjective. Some people think it's like literally God get beat across the face. Some people, like me, think it's like the extreme other way. Like, I'm like, you look at me wrong, you're abusing me. No, I don't. I just think, to me, the word mistreatment is more what I say, because abuse, so many people are like, oh, abuse is so overused, that word. Okay, cool. Mistreatment. Can we all agree on that? I'm not here to be mistreated in my life, are you? We don't have to call it abuse. Let's call it mistreatment. But you know what? Mistreatment always, to me, results in me feeling like I have to walk on eggshells around somebody. And you know what I'm not doing? That. I ain't doing it. I'm not walking on eggshells for anybody. Like, my God did not put me here to sit tiptoeing around somebody's life because they want control over our relationship or over me or over their world. Oh, maybe they have anxiety. I don't care. I actually don't care the reason. I can have compassion. I actually pray for, there's a narcissist that's in my life, not in my life anymore, that I literally pray for every single night. I do. I say, I hope this person finds peace. For narcissists, that's there's not a lot of hope for that, but I am a God person, and I do always have a sliver of hope for people. My mom says, like, you're so fierce and whatever, but it seems like you still have hope. And I'm like, I do have hope for every single person on this earth. I have belief miracles happen. I've seen miracles happen. I've seen people change. Does that mean I'm going to up and go and try to change the person, or go up and try to be in a relationship anyway, or a distant relationship anymore? No. I can be hopeful from afar. I can love from afar. But this mamma jamma, you're not getting in my life if you mistreat me. If you make me feel dismissed. If you make me feel crazy. Like, I know, here's the thing though. We have to take accountability for our own feelings. So I'm going to put that up, important to note. Someone can't technically make us feel. But if as a result of someone's mistreatment, and here's the difference, it's not somebody who's, I'm misinterpreting what they're saying or doing, okay? I've been around the block, I'm 43. I know if you're effing with me, or if you're trying to mind F me or control me, Like, I've been studying this, I've been doing this. So that's the difference. If you are mistreating me, and as a result, I'm feeling bad, or like I have to tiptoe, or I have to watch what I say, or I have to, it's not going to happen. Are there some sensitive people out there that you might have to watch what you say around certain things? That to me is okay. I've got some family members that like certain language, even like, you know, let's say cursing with my mom, right? I've got to temper my cursing. You dislike the rewording of words. Abuse is abuse. There's no hope for narcissists. They have to see their destructive behavior. Yes, Marie. You know, I've learned the rewording of why it's because of my business that I've reworded words sometimes, because so many people have so many different takes, and there are people that need help who have been abused, but they don't view it as abuse yet. They're not there yet. And that's why I don't always use that. Or I say things like this. I say abuse, but if you're being mistreated, because a light bulb, they do this to minimize real abuse. Yes. But there's a light bulb. This is for people. Let's say someone's watching this video right now and they're like, oh, abuse, that's not me. They're in it still, right? I work with people who are out of these situations and are realizing it is abuse. That's why I use it in the stuff for my podcast or my business in that way, yes. But when I'm doing videos or just free stuff I just want to like share, I know it's abuse, but there are so many women, and I was one of them. I will tell you what, for years and years of my life, I would not have labeled it abuse, because that meant it was abuse. That meant I had to figure out a way out. I knew abuse was wrong. So if I knew it was wrong, that meant I had to do something about it. And that's scary. When you are under narcissistic abuse, the fear of leaving, you thought it was you. Yes, and they will make you think you're crazy, you're sensitive. You're just oversensitive, right? Well, I choke you out with a phone cord, but I'm sensitive, right? But in my mind, I'm like, oh, I made him that mad. By doing what? I don't know. I never did anything crazy. Nothing should cause another human to be violent anyway, right? There's no excuse. I take that back, because I will say, someone punched me in high school, I punched her back. Is that the right answer? No, but it's a little more understandable, okay? But yes, under the belief, a lot of these women or men are under this idea that it's their fault, or that it's not as big of a deal as they think, or they don't think. They're like, it's not a big deal. This is just, let's say it's a sibling. Maybe you say, oh, well, that's just, it's just siblings fighting. When deep down, you know it's more, right? A husband beating the wife. Or we could talk emotional abuse too. Oh, he had he's having a hard time at work, like the excuses you make. There is no excuse for abuse, but when you are in it, often you will not recognize that it's abuse. And that is why I use the word mistreatment. It's a little softer and people can relate to it more and be like, well, yeah, he does kind of mistreatment. Or I say dismissive. Do you feel dismissed? Right? That people can relate to me. Yeah, I do feel dismissed. He dismisses my feelings. When I talk about something, he doesn't seem to care. It just seems to go back to him and his feelings. It's like that doesn't feel as big, and it feels like they can start to crack open and open up, and that's where that dialogue can start for me and people that are actually in the situation. Again, mostly I work with people that are out of the situation, because I feel like the people who are in it are so raw, and even if they're trying to get out, I do think therapy is a great way. If you're in it trying to get out, I feel like therapy and like local resources where you can be in person is the best bet to start. And then once you're kind of over the fence where you're like, you can say out loud, I have been abused and now I don't know what to do or what like you're maybe out of the situation. Usually my clients are disconnected already from the person, or they're trying, if it's a family member, like let's say a narcissistic mother, I will take on those people. If someone's in a romantic relationship living with a abusive husband, I will not take them. It's too early beyond what I do. But if you've been trying to distance from your mom or whatever, that's easier. You're not like in their life every single day. So you're on that other side. You can say out loud, I've been abused. And then you're like, now what, right? I literally had a client say, I don't even know what I want. I'm just like, now what? Now what? Where am I? What do I do? Now what? Like, who am I? Because when you've been under the thumb, like for example, she was with her boyfriend since she was 15 years old, 38 years old, right? That relationship, I'm saying from 15 to 38. She didn't know who she was without him, right? So that, it's like, okay, how do we heal? But at the same time, you know me, I don't like to, and that's where therapy comes in. You want to sit on a couch and you want to every week go through the pain and talk about what's happened in detail and like get all that, great, right? I have clients that are in therapy and with me. I'm on this side though, over here, like we can figure out why certain things happen, what's triggering you, right? But we're going to quickly shift because this life is so short. And I'm like, God did not put us here to suffer. We are not here to suffer. So I am going to help anyone I can move as quickly as possible through what damage has been done, because you're 2.0 now and we're getting to 2.0. We get there quickly. It's amazing. Like I've literally cried, especially my one client. She's going to come on my podcast. She went through narcissistic abuse a couple of times in her life, and her husband passed away in the last year. And the amount of growth, even in the first month, was like mind-blowing, because I cut through the fluff. I've been through it. So when you walk with someone who's been through something, it accelerates your path, because they're like, look, I know you're feeling this. This is what you start to do. I know it's like, you can, that's why, I don't know. I won't go to all the details. I have to get ready for my meeting. But anyway, that is the sort of work I do. If you do want to work with me, comment, send me an email at fiercemama, MAMAC @gmail.com. I am not taking on, I'm trying to think. I have to figure out how many more clients I can take on if I can. I would like to take on 1 or 2, but that's going to end soon because this summer I can only have a couple clients. I'm still working Cora's schedule out, but I want to spend time with her this summer. She's going to be on swim team, so I'm going to have a half day of work every day, which doesn't leave me tons of time for clients. So if you are thinking about working with me, or you've thought about working with me, now is the best time to get on my schedule, because once June hits, and right now I probably can take on 1 or 2 more, like through the end of the year. Then I'm not going to take on any others. Like if you're grandfathered in, kind of, you know what I mean? There will be a few I continue with. But I love this work. It's important. I hope you get valuable information from these little videos. I can't work with everybody. I don't have enough time in the day. So that's why I do this. Like I want to help anyone I can in whatever way I can. So I'm doing the podcast now. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do YouTube videos. That's okay, Marie. You don't need the funds. We can hang out every day. You'll get some shiz, right? And any topics, Marie. Like that's what I'm saying. I am here for you. I know not everybody has the funds. That's okay. So also let me know if there's certain topics you want me to talk about. I would love that. I want to be of service in whatever way I can. But I do need to go. Love you. My face is falling apart. And yes, allergies too. Lots of fun. All right. Love you guys. Put your doocy woosies up and comment what topic you would like me to talk about in the comments. If you're on replay, still put it, and I will see you in the next video. What's today? Wednesday. Tomorrow I might not be able to. I'm meeting my mom for lunch. It depends. I might have time. I may or may not be here on tomorrow and Friday. Friday is my birthday. My husband took off. So I'll see what I can do, but no promises. But look out. Oh, that's why you should put the little notification bell on my channel. So if I do a video, it should let you know and say like, oh, Christy, Jade, Christy, I don't know, whoever I am, Fierce Christy, Jade, I don't know what it says. Something about Christy is doing a video, then you can watch it. All right, bye. Smooches then. Deuces.